welcome to another episode of Hard Factor. It is Monday, March 1st, 2021, episode number 635. I'm Will. We got Mark, Pat, and Wes, a full house today. The Ides of March are upon us, gentlemen. I don't know what that means, but it's March. So
it has to do with Brute.
Yeah, it's Roman. Oh, nice hat. It came, Comrade B.
Isn't it
looking pretty good?
Isn't that when Julius Caesar got stabbed by his boys?
Oh, hell yeah. Big time.
Right. But then I was like, it is. But then it also happened to be like when the Romans did all their partying. So it's like double whammy. It's also
because he crossed the Rubicon.
Right.
Which he should, maybe he shouldn't know.
Because he was a dictator. Speaking of dictators, Pat's wearing the, well, you're going to have to get that back above the brim. Eventually you'll get the tassel back above the brim. But I'm
new to this.
It's a commander. It's a USSR commander's hat. So
that looks good.
Yeah. Check out the video. Looks nice. I'm glad it made it there safe and sound.
Feels really natural.
I mean, it fits you like a glove. It was too small for me, but it looks great on you.
Can we do a graphic where like it like morphs into his skin almost like in post, like a magical thing?
Yeah, Pat's just becomes a part of the USSR.
Yeah,
he looks punk rock with his hair and the sweatshirt going on. Like it's like a punk rock outfit almost.
You shut your mouth. Everyone shut their mouth.
All right, we won't fuck around with Comrade Beef
with the hats on.
Not in the general hat. Yeah. Nope. So Women's History Month, that's also March Madness. But most importantly, St. Patty's Day merch. Go to hardfactor.com to get the St. Patrick's themed Hard Factor gear. Looks very slick. Wes replaced the stars with shamrocks. Gonna look great on St. Patrick's Day.
Much more important than Women's Month is buy a St. Patty's Day Hard Factor shirt.
I threw March Madness in there too, so it wasn't
1,000
a shot. Just so it wasn't just a shot at Women's History Month. Also, we've got some of our favorite sponsors back this week: Blue Chew and Caliper CBD, and of course the Stereo app. But also shout out to listener Alex in the Hardo Hive. He's got a pet food company called Animate, guys, and he sent me a sample. And both the cat and dog love it so much more than their regular food. So
yeah, he sent me some treat samples too, and the dogs absolutely love it.
It's insane. So I'll be switching.
I didn't get one.
Hardo Hive. Well, I think maybe I was the test. So Hardo Hive is about to be an Animate, spelled ANNAMAET. But yeah, it's delicious stuff. Pets love it. Also, finally, shout out to Virginia for voting to legalize cannabis. Good call from our home state.
That's right. 2024, though, is when it'll be in the actual stores, right? That's
right. No sales till 2024. But
yeah, good job, Virginia.
Nice decision. Wes is first.
The one day I don't wear my fucking Virginia hat. All right. Gonna go back to the segment I'm gonna call it Door Blockers. And we are once again visiting Mr. Headlines himself, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. And
the door blocker.
The door blocker.
He's not the Matt Lauer is the door blocker.
Oh, right. Yeah, he did have the button.
He had a button.
Yeah, he's the door locker.
Yeah.
He's like the James Bond of door blockers. And just to get into this story, to do some true investigative journalism, I'm going to try to get into the mind of Cuomo here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a few clamps on my nipples here.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah, if you can see me.
Oh, heighten the sense.
Oh, fuck.
Does it feel good just having
keep them on there? You keep them on there.
Yeah, you better.
This one really hurts. This one is okay. I'm not going to
better not take it off.
I'm pussing off. No way. No way.
Pussy.
Yeah, I am a pussy. I'm not into that, I guess. I just learned. Okay. The newest. So you guys, we covered it last week. He already had one lady can accuse him of sexual misconduct. Now a second lady has come out over the weekend. Miss Charlotte Harris, who was a former aide to Cuomo who left in November, said that old Steel Nips sexually harassed her last spring while she was an executive assistant and health policy advisor right at the height of the coronavirus outbreak is when she alleged this happened.
Right when he was warming up to write that book.
Right. He had MA on the what Pulitzer's on the brain and all that stuff. He also had sex on the brain. Like we said, we covered this last accuser last week. Lindsay Boylan. Remember, Cuomo wanted to play strip poker with her. She looked like his ex. He door blocked her, rammed his tongue down her throat. Allegedly, Cuomo has said that those allegations were just playful banter, just misinterpreted as unwanted
Especially
flirtation.
the kissing part. That was misinterpreted.
I'm not
all
even
the
good
way.
at poker.
Extremely misinterpreted. And now Charlotte Bennett says, yeah, me too. Her allegations include that the governor asked her several inappropriate questions, like whether age matters in a relationship, her being 24, 25, and him 62 at the time, and told her he's open to relationships with women in their 20s, a.k.a., hey, I'd fuck you, no problem.
Isn't that polling, though? That's just that's what politicians do, is they're always out there polling.
Well, these are his employees.
So they
though.
know that they can be polling later. You know what
There
I'm
you
saying?
go.
Right. Classic politicians. These are his employees, though. I think that might make it worse for him.
Definitely something she needed to hear, that he'd be willing to date someone her age. That's important stuff.
Yeah. It was quite the question, and so Charlotte said in another encounter, Cuomo pulled the it's been so long since I've hugged someone, complaining about how long it's been since he's hugged someone. Then
My
turning,
dick's so hard it could kill somebody right now.
yeah, it's been a long time since I've pressed my body against someone. And then he
My
turned.
valve is so just built up. It's so built up.
I've got all these poker chips, and I got this penis here. And,
It's cold outside. He said, complaining about, He then turned to her and asked who the last person she hugged was. She said that she tried. She said that she tried to dodge the offer of a hug and with a side of penis by saying she missed hugging her parents. To which she claims he said, "quote No, I mean like really hug someone."
No, he didn't want a parental hug. He wanted a man hug. He wanted a man and a woman hug.
And this isn't just girl talk. Good.
No, this is
Okay.
an offer of hot old man
Of a
on young woman sex.
Pointy hug. A hug with lots of pointy ends on it.
I
Yeah.
can't remember
Sharp.
the last time an intern took out my nipple ring with her mouth.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I've been blown in this office by an
Yeah.
aide.
Tell you what, I gotta tell you, we had an intern before you, best intern we ever had. Got her a job afterwards, and the thing she could do with a nipple ring. Not that I'm saying that you should do that, but she was the best intern we ever
She
had.
was 25.
By a long shot.
She looked a lot like you.
That's
Yeah.
a go-to of his. And these, he does have a type, clearly. Slim, brunette.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Absolutely.
Kinda
all-
mousy.
All of the people.
Yeah. Bennett said that, quote, I understood the governor wanted to sleep with me and felt horribly uncomfortable and scared, also wondering how I was going to get out of it and assumed it was the end of my job. She says she did tell a few people about the incident, including Cuomo's chief of staff, Jill DeRassier, but in the end didn't press the investigation because she was happy with her new job. She got transferred away from Cuomo. But when Lindsay Boylan came out, she decided to offer her support and tell her story too. At one point, Charlotte said she was about to give a speech about being a survivor of a previous sexual assault, and apparently texted her friend after talking to Cuomo about that speech, and he was talking with her about it, and she said to her friend, quote, the way he was repeating, you were raped and abused and attacked and assaulted and betrayed over and over again while looking me directly in the eyes was something out of a horror movie. It was like he was testing me. That's what she sent to her friend after that encounter.
Why would he do that? Why would he say those things to her?
Because he's a creep.
I don't know. Seeing how strong she is, maybe.
I mean,
don't
these two came out in the last couple of years. You think there's not more?
Oh, this is
this is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
It's-
Absolutely.
No,
given
I
a bad
I
name
think
to
this is
nipple ring.
just these two.
right. Just these two in the last 2 years. He just became a creep. He's only like, what, 75? But he's probably been good before that entirely, for sure.
Yeah, of course. How many AIDS has he had? In a response to the Times, Cuomo said he believed he had been acting as a mentor and had, quote, never made advances toward Miss Bennett, nor did I ever intend to act in any way that was inappropriate. He said he had requested an independent review of the matter and asked that New Yorkers await the findings before making any judgment. And, she did say that he never inappropriately touched her, but, he definitely touched the first girl.
He's a sexually aggressive boss. I mean,
Yes.
if the trend continues and we hear more, that's just what it is.
He's a classic man in power, and that takes advantage of that role. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. We'll see if he calls for impeachment are heated, and resignation and all that good stuff. And that brings us to our first ad. This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Say it with us, Blue Chew.
Oh God,
Chew, Blue Chew, like the color.
Don't give any of these to Cuomo.
No. Apparently doesn't need them. Blue Chew is making waves and bringing more confidence to the bedroom by offering chewable tablets that can help men get stronger and longer lasting erections. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable form at the fraction of the cost. Blue Chew's tablets help men achieve harder and stronger erections to combat all forms of ED. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line, right to your door, discreet. Simple process. Go to bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. It's all done online. Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient and strength for your prescription, and they're chewable.
And strong, regardless of strength level. Because
Super.
we'll get the
easy
job
process.
done.
Super easy process. Takes like 10 to 15 minutes.
Yep.
Super easy.
Yeah. Like I said, same ingredients. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA, and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy. So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to reform, visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information.
Hell yeah. Guys, one of my favorite things about American politics is liability family members.
Yeah.
Kind of the best.
Last week was an all-star brigade with the Hunter news. We got more.
Yeah, well, no, it's more of a throwback liability family member to the guy that started it all, Roger Clinton. Guys, liability family members are inevitable. In fact, I have a theory that one way for a person to reach the highest level of success is to have a shitty sibling that takes the heat off them and allows them to enjoy an unimpeded lane to success, along with the pride and encouragement that comes with being the brother that the fuck up brother is encouraged to be more like. Like, why don't you be more like Bill, Roger? It feels good. You know what I mean? Anyway, guys, it's literally the plot to the best Chris Farley movie of all time. If you think that Black Sheep's better than Tommy Boy, which I do, from Neil Bush. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, Black Sheep is great.
It's a funner movie. It's more fun. It's a more fun movie, in my opinion.
Both such classics.
Soundtrack's better too. It's literally, yeah. Okay. Anyway, Neil Bush
and it's about politics. I mean, it's
about politics.
Factors, Alley.
So come on, guys. You got Neil Bush to Malik Obama, Sam Houston Johnson to Hugh Rodman, but the most prolific by far, Black Sheep of all time, is Bill Clinton's half brother, Roger. And he was spotted publicly for the first time recently, which inspired me to tell this tale of old Roger Clinton. So for those of you guys who don't know, Roger's a half brother, which is a classic Black Sheep situation. He's 64 years old, and he's been laying low in Torrance, California with his 32-year-old lady friend. And I got to tell you, it's impressive when you can literally get a woman half your age. I mean, for me, that would be just borderline illegal right now.
Is it impressive, or does it just mean you got like stuff they want?
I mean, game.
Right, but like, yeah, sure, but I mean, like at some point,
it's kind of a dumb question. Is it impressive?
I mean, sometimes it's not. You've seen, you know what I mean. You've worked in the restaurant industry. You've seen the girls with the older guys. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you know exactly what's going on.
Yeah,
like
the money. They're gold diggers.
Exactly. You know exactly. They just want a nice place to go back to.
Guys, there's always something going on. It's impressive. Leave it at that. Okay.
Maybe.
All right. Anyway, according to the Daily Mail,
Got to be something.
Roger walked out on his partner, Martha Spivey, when she was pregnant. This is about 30 years ago, and has refused to be a part of his daughter's life ever since. And he now refuses to meet Macy's son, who's his daughter.
Wait a minute. He was pulling a Larry King. I don't want to see you.
No, he's met his daughter, not really, but has not met his only grandchild and refuses to. And that's kind of what the Daily Mail was talking about. The grandchild turned 3 last month, or I guess 3 months. No, 3 years. 3 years old. Never met her. But here's some of the classic Rogers, guys. During Bill's presidency, Roger was given the code name Headache by the Secret Service due to his chaotic behavior, that's pretty good, right? We know that he's creating quite a bit of an issue. I didn't know this, but before he left office in 2001, Bill granted Roger a pardon for a 1985 cocaine trafficking conviction. Did you guys know this?
I was just going to say, he sounds like he does a lot of cocaine.
Oh, he does a lot of cocaine. He also traffics it.
Does that mean he's pardoned forever for like the for all of his old crimes?
Well, for
Up
that
until-
crime.
Just for the he literally committed a crime 2 months after he got a presidential pardon. He got busted for DUI.
That's
You're
on the
running
record.
amok.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Roger.
but did you guys know about that? I mean, that's fucked up.
I
So-
mean, is like
It's so fucked up to pardon your
fucked up.
brother for a cocaine.
it's good to be the
trafficking
king. That's what they
Oh,
say.
no,
right?
if I was-
I mean,
if I was-
like president's pardon.
Yeah, if I was president, fuck, I'd get, yeah, hell yeah. I'd pardon my
Every
brother.
single president has a long list of questionable pardons. It doesn't matter which one. It seems like all of them have a shitload of questionable pardons.
Even Donald Trump, he showed restraint, not preemptively pardoning his children. Like you pardon your brother for cocaine trafficking. I'm sorry, inappropriate.
Well, that was an
That's pretty
existing
blatant.
charge.
That's
Existing
pretty obscene.
charge.
Yeah.
You can charge people for crimes they've committed but not been charged with. That's the deal.
Meanwhile,
with pardons.
he was doing the 3 strikes thing and locking everyone else up for cocaine, right?
Right,
And-
that's
Right.
the fucked up thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clinton, the innovator of locking people up for
Yeah.
drug trafficking.
Not my brother Roger.
A couple other home runs that Roger hit. He was investigated by congressional officials over claims that he may have been paid to help secure pardons for other convicted criminals, including mobster Rosario Gambino, for which he allegedly took a $50,000 Rolex watch that for a pardon that never materialized. And he also in 2015, right
That's a
around
move, though. If your brother's the president, you're getting so many Rolexes promising pardons.
you
Oh,
take
this is tame compared to what I would do if my brother were the president. I mean, you
Well,
kidding me?
Frank Biden's got 4 years. We could see what he's going to crack up. He's already
Yeah.
trying to make money in the law firm, so we'll see what
right.
else he's
And Roger did a similar deal during right around Hillary's run for president. It emerged that Roger had used Bill's name to win a $100,000 consulting contract with a company looking to build houses in Haiti following
Oh,
the
yeah.
devastating 2010 earthquake. He also the man has 2 DUIs. But I'm going to be checking in on presidential brothers and sisters throughout the course of the year. It's
Thank
just
you,
a subject I love.
Love
That's
it.
bad. He was trying to slumlord in Haiti.
Yeah.
That's pretty. That's pretty sleazy.
Bubba, did you pop the picture of Roger up?
Anything.
Beaches.
It's a delight.
Wait, go back to it.
No, the new picture of Roger. Yeah. Look at that.
What
The years have been tough on Roger.
He doesn't
Those-
own jeans.
kind of sweatpants are those? Are those like American
Hollister.
American-
Hollister
They were
sweatpants?
they were picked up at the Goodwill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
He's up to something. Do
ready
you guys
for St.
remember how Myanmar had a literal coup
Oh yeah.
a month ago on February 1st?
It was tough. Yeah, the military literally just took over the country.
Right. The military took over from the National League for Democracy, which had recently won power in a landslide election. They just detained the elected party leader, Aung San Suu Kyi, and the military said, hey, this election was a total fraud. So we're just going to lock all the people that you elected up because it was a fraud, but we'll give you power back in a year and then have an election that won't be a fraud. Totally.
Right. You
for
telling
sure.
me they went? Wait, they're honoring that word, right?
Sure. Well, we're only 1 month in, but sure. Not cool, Myanmar military. And in fact, people that elected the NLD are not cool with you doing this to them either. So there have been mass protests all of February. Most of the protesting had been peaceful, although there were some injuries and some reports of maybe a few deaths in like mid-February. But everything changed this weekend when police in several cities, including Yangon, Dawei, and Mandalay, used live rounds to clear out protesters and killed at least 18 people and injured at least 30 more. So they just shot the people dead in the streets.
Yeah, they mowed the yard with live bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a classic tactic of like a place that's trying to just totally shut down dissension is just start killing the protesters.
That's it, Will. I
That's
guess military commander-in-chief Min Aung Hlaing had seen enough of people protesting.
Yeah.
He's the dictator in charge now, and he was basically kidnapped everyone, and he's like, I want these people to shut up. Yeah.
Well, you know
Put
how
the hat
China
back
does
on,
it.
Pat.
They do the black bagging. You know,
That's right.
that's they at least keep it out of the streets, right? They do it behind the walls of whatever camp those.
They're
people
black
taken
bagging
to.
people here too, Will, except it's not just a hood over the head, it's a body bag.
Right. Well,
these
you know,
black bags are durable. They're weatherproof.
Yeah.
sometimes you got to run with the combo. Look at Belarus and Russia. I mean, you know, different strokes for different folks here.
Yeah,
for
geez,
putting
like
down-
look how well it looks. We could have done this in Hong Kong so long ago.
Yeah, for sure. That's what he's thinking. He's saying, at least we didn't Myanmar people, right? At least 5 people had been killed in the largest city of Yangon as police fired bullets stun grenades and tear gas. One person was shot through the eye, and a middle school teacher died of a heart attack from excessive stun gun use. Protesters are refusing to retreat, though, in all of these cities, so it's very scary, the situation going on over there, because it probably will happen again, because people are like, fuck this military, especially now that they're killing us. Like, we're not backing down. A protester in Yangon, Amy Kawai, said police started shooting just as we arrived. They didn't say a word of warning. So yeah, I mean, people, they just were getting shot. Like, outside of live bullets and tear gas, the police also used, you guessed it, the high-powered water cannon to fuck up the protesters' worlds.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Over 1,000 people have been arrested for protesting in Myanmar, and the protests have spread throughout Asia to places like Taipei and Hong Kong. Even in the U.S., at the capital of Minnesota, Minneapolis, there was a protest at the Capitol building for the citizens of Myanmar. Yeah, it's fucked, man.
That's totally fucked. I mean, authoritarian regimes seem to be like really emboldened by the last year, especially with COVID and everything. And they like, it's totally fucked up. America traditionally would be doing something about this as the world police, quote unquote, but will we?
One guy who's a citizen of Myanmar asked how many bodies is it going to take for the U.S. to get involved. He was shot to death this weekend, so that was his declaration.
So we don't want to fucking start a war with Iran, but we're hitting their terrorist backed cells in Syria, right? I know we don't want to get in another fucking war, which is like, that would be a ground war in Myanmar, but is there anything we can do?
Well, Myanmar is backed. I believe that the military is backed by both China and Russia. So if you were going to start something there, it would be like a proxy war, essentially, it seems like.
That sounds like fun. By the way, the elected leader who was straight up removed from society, Aung San Suu Kyi, that we showed a picture of earlier, her face with the people protesting. No one's heard from her, including her lawyer, who says they aren't letting him speak to her. So I'm sure they're treating her fine, right?
Yeah.
She's supposed to be in court today, but we'll see.
There's no court over there anymore.
Terrible.
Sounds like she's doing great. All right.
Oh yeah, no, we totally had court today.
They're like the Dothraki over there right
now. She pled guilty to everything.
Yeah. Court's been canceled for another month. Sorry. Okay, boys. The pandemic is still lingering, and people are getting mad about a second year on lockdown, of course, because it sucks. So it's time to talk about what the big brains on Capitol Hill are trying to do about it for us. And wouldn't you know it, it's another round of stimulus. The biggest one yet, hopefully. The third round of checks was passed in the House on Friday. And now the American Rescue Plan Act goes to the Senate for final approval before Biden signs it, which, first off, terrible name, Plan Act, American Rescue Plan Act. You guys, Plan Act?
Awful.
That's terrible. It's almost as bad as MAGA again.
Plan Act, but
Plan Act.
But the plan was executed, right? Why does
law bill.
Double. Right, exactly. It's a double law bill. Exactly. Anyhow, just it's so redundant. American Rescue Plan Act. Oh well. Anyways, as you know, the Senate already took out the minimum wage hike off the table, like we talked about last week. But what does the bill include? Yeah, it's not happening. Sorry. Minimum wage staying $7.50 federally. It does include a $1,400 stimulus check for eligible individuals, similar to the $1,200 and $600 checks before, and a bunch of other stuff the Republicans object to, so they're all voting no and saying, open the economy instead. And here's a pork list that Nikki Haley produced. She's like, there's millions for a bridge. There's $100 million for Silicon Valley. Big one was $1.5 billion for Amtrak. Other Planned Parenthood, justice grants, whatever. It doesn't really matter, though, because as we discussed last week, the Dems control Congress and the executive, so they can get it passed. One funny challenge to the bill, though, did come from Rep. Paul Gosar of Arizona. He proposed an amendment for $10,000 stimulus checks, because what he says is that if you got rid of all the pork and just made it money straight to the people, you could pay for $10,000 stimulus checks.
We're going to Vegas, right? I mean, but you guys are all thinking what I was thinking, right?
Jib. Yeah, $10K.
Yeah. Well, it's a protest amendment because he's saying, like, get rid of the pork, just give it straight to the people. Of course, it's not going to get on.
But
it would be
relapse with $10K.
Yeah, it's made.
We could build the pool.
We got to win enough for Wes's second stint in rehab.
Yeah,
it would be sick.
Right.
10K is trouble.
It would be a sick run. We would have a sick few months, but then it would all come crashing down. I saw a Wall Street analyst suggest that it'll pass sometime this month, with a final price tag of 1.4 trillion. Those guys usually are pretty good at predicting. We'll see. It's funny that even with a full dim control, the stimulus checks are going to be smaller than what Trump wanted last year, but Mitch McConnell killed that. So doesn't matter regardless. Trump looked pretty comfortable at CPAC over the weekend. I think he's doing just fine. One thing I know for sure is to file your taxes now. If you made less in 2020 than you did in 2019, you're going to want to get that done by the time this bill passes. Anyway, the only thing that can really help us all get back to the government allowing us to go back to normal is total vaccination, COVID vaccination. Like in Russia, Russia, where the vaccine Sputnik V has largely crushed the coronavirus.
Hey, comrade.
Already. So to that end, the FDA has approved the Johnson & Johnson vaccine for use. It's a whopping 66% effective. That's a full 25% less effective than the Russian Sputnik V.
But for Russia, not so bad.
Yeah, for Russia, very good.
That's like a D-.
It's horrible.
That's a horrible percentage.
It's horrible.
When are we going to test the Sput? I want to know exactly
91.4%.
according to them.
Johnson & Johnson, no, according to them and people have checked it out.
So Sputnik,
91.4%. Johnson & Johnson 66%.
So there's 4 of us here. Okay. That means more than one of us, potentially 2 of us, it wouldn't work on.
Correct.
Least, yeah.
Correct, Mark. It's a horrible vaccine. At least Johnson & Johnson is only 1 dose as opposed to 2, and easier to store than Moderna and Pfizer vaccines that are currently being used in the U.S.
Maybe it should be 2 doses.
Yeah, probably should. In trials, the Johnson & Johnson stopped 66% of cases from becoming severe. That's the effective rate, Wes. And none of the trial participants died. Of course, that's a limited number of people. I'd really like to see how that stacked up against the placebo group personally. Mm-hmm. Will it be another massive class action fuck up from Johnson & Johnson, or will it help to get everybody vaccinated and back to work? Only time will tell, fellas. But it's no Sputnik V.
It's just not acceptable. It's just absolutely not acceptable.
No, it's not.
It's like, sorry, Johnson & Johnson, nice try.
This is AstraZeneca numbers.
Yeah, it is, and which is having horrible issues in Europe.
And adding another dose. They're like, we need 3 now.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Johnson. It's got trouble written all over it. But yeah, I just signed up
to pre-register for my vaccination. Do we know now? Do we get to choose which vaccine we get, or is there possibility they're going to force Johnson & Johnson?
I think so. I think you're going to show up to the shop. They're like, all right, here's the Johnson & Johnson.
Jesus,
dude. Yeah, and when they're adding doses, that's like a classic good money after bad, right? Like you cannot be part of a vaccine where they're like, oh, we forgot there's another dose.
Well, they're saying it's for the variants and all this other bullshit.
Right. That's what they're saying.
When Sputnik V is head and shoulders above, you got to be a little bit worried.
Yeah.
But since you probably got some time on your hands waiting for vaccination eligibility and those stimulus checks to take forever to finally arrive, may as well waste some time with us on the Stereo app. While you wait, Hard Factor is live on Stereo every Wednesday and Friday. The shows are very fun, real-time listener interaction where you can leave voicemails for us to answer right away. It always gets crazy in those Wednesday and Friday Stereo shows. I love them. So go to stereo.com/hardfactorwill, stereo.com/hardfactormark, stereo.com/hardfactorwes, or stereo.com/Pat Cassidy. Download the app from those URLs and then follow all the Hard Factor boys on there to get notified of when we go live. Stick around after the show to hear a sample of the Friday pregame with Pat and I from last Friday.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys, I got to say this next one was just a pleasure to research, and I'm so glad we are finally going to talk about it. Been in the news for a minute now. I am talking about the target of every jealous housewife in America, Crystal Jackson, a.k.a. OnlyFans superstar Mrs. Tiffany Poindexter, the mom whose sexy OnlyFans account was discovered by another parent from her children's Catholic school, and shit hit the fan. There, in case any of you want to find her on OnlyFans, it's Mrs. Poindexter, your modest and reserved real neighborhood mom.
So she teaches at a Catholic school?
No, she doesn't teach at a Catholic school. Her kids go to a Catholic school.
Okay.
More on that later.
Poindexter.
I got an honest confession to make here.
Huh.
Yeah.
This is the reason that I know it's really hard to deposit money into an OnlyFans account.
Because you tried to get on Mrs. Poindexter?
Well, I don't know what was going to happen once the money got through, but couldn't get. couldn't get to that step. Will, so.
What was the roadblock?
Yeah, what's blocking you?
It's just hard. Try because it's like a British company. I mean, I hear.
Yep. No, Pat. I'm with you. There was some. I tried.
They don't take Bitcoin.
I bought a new dab rig over the weekend, and there was one dab rig that was cheaper that I tried to get, but it was like making you sign up for like basically like a Bitcoin account to buy it. Like not a Bitcoin, but one of these new online wallet companies.
Something.
It was like you had to use one of the 5 online wallet companies to buy it. Yeah, it weirded me out. Had to go somewhere else.
Wes, I don't think she knows the definition of modest or reserved.
No, she doesn't. She's a bad girl. Her Instagram account.
She's an ironic little bad girl.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. Her Instagram account says average mom, 44, senior executive in technology, computer engineer, mom, hunter, secret hot wife, and internet model. Shh. There's a few pictures of her. There's one of her in her naughty Catholic schoolgirl uniform.
If you're rocking that on Instagram, everybody knows.
She's gonna make my head pop off. What?
If you're putting those on Instagram, everybody knows.
Well, this is after this. Now the thing. This has been going on since like July when she first got discovered. Now it's a big thing. Now she's embracing it, right?
Okay.
But what happened was, she's a mother of 3 in Sacramento, California. Her and her husband of 14 years were trying to spice up their marriage and get back some intimacy. And one of them suggested the OnlyFans. This is out of her mouth. One of them suggested the OnlyFans. They were like, shit, let's fucking do it. So he's her like photographer, and they started cleaning up. She's like pretty much the perfect wet dream of neglected, like, Catholic, dads everywhere. And they decided to cash in, and it took off. So according to Crystal, it went downhill starting in July after one of the dads. She says, quote, there were some dads that found it and they were just like, hey, cool. I know who you are. You know who I am. I'm not going to say anything. But all of a sudden, some dad who was just not following man code told his wife, and then she lost her shit. Then she told a woman, and she told a woman.
that wasn't going to happen.
Of course, I was like, you can find her kind of content anywhere. If my wife or partner, I would tell them immediately, like, this is amazingly hilarious. Look at who is fucking posing for OnlyFans.
It's going to get around town within like
Crystal.
seconds.
There's a fucking crowd of dads walking their dogs by our house like 20 times a day, looking through the windows. Like, I'm gonna take Rover for another walk.
I'll pick up the kids today.
Yeah. Everyone's at the parent-teacher conferences, just hoping to get a glimpse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
They're coming early. They're staying late.
Yeah.
Is Mrs. Poindexter here?
Yeah.
Right.
Did you guys see her?
Right. Where is she?
I brought you cookies.
So I was going to play a TikTok reaction, but it's kind of long. But Crystal says that once the story broke and became national news, the threats started rolling in, saying, quote, it got so bad we ended up getting threatening phone calls from some of the moms. They were like, you need to leave the school, or you want to fight the moms because they're going to take you down, and you should just leave.
Because her body's tighter than theirs.
Yeah, they're just jealous haters.
We're running out of tissues over here.
Their husbands are jerking off to her.
Yeah.
Look, not everybody's a fucking OnlyFans model. All right, it's just the way it is. Like, I mean, like some other people. Who cares? Who cares what somebody does for work?
They're just haters. And this is really fucked up though. So many moms at the school rubbed their dry vaginas together that it caused a massive fire at the school internally.
Tornado of dust.
Yeah, just fire and brimstone from these vaginas. And now Crystal's kids have been expelled from the Sacred Heart Parish School with the decision to expel her sons. The school wrote, your apparent quest for high-profile controversy in support of your adult website is in direct conflict with what we hope to impart to our students.
Private school.
Private school, yeah, and a lot of people said like they brought up the fact that sometimes when you sign up for private school, you have to sign like a moral code, like that you're going to behave a certain way. She's obviously going against that.
I would have challenged, and I would have said, okay, headmaster. Well, then why don't you pull every kid at your school's browser history, and you won't have a student body anymore.
And dads and teachers, all of them.
Yeah,
kick out all the dads who hit on her.
Exactly.
It's sad, but it's not only the dads that are hitting on her, like the whole family, like the classmates are jerking off to the mom. Like that's a tough scene for the kids.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, like as long as you were okay with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's
a weird situation.
It's a weird situation. And the person that runs this Catholic school is their heads popping off because it was found out that there's another mom that was part of Crystal's group that appeared in some of her videos that's also on OnlyFans, and her kids go to the school, but her kids are still enrolled. So this school has like
she was bringing in other moms.
Yeah, she's like the madam of these like Catholic school moms, and the bishop at this school's head is fucking exploding because he's got moms posing on OnlyFans.
That's awesome. It's like a pyramid scheme, except it's OnlyFans.
Yeah. And she's making $150,000 a month doing this on
Oh my
OnlyFans.
God.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Those kids can go to any college they want to
Yeah.
if they find a place to finish high school.
I take it back. Their house and pool were probably so nice you can deal with the insults, and your mom's hot anyways.
Bro,
Yeah,
you
like
could-
what? Everybody's telling them they want to fuck
Yeah.
their mom anyways.
guys, I priced it out. That's a lazy river a month. Ooh. Based on the quotes I got for a lazy river down in Austin.
That's a good one. 150 grand would be a nice. I mean, it'd be a little small, but it would be nice.
No, 150K buys you a serious lazy river, bro.
yeah, it
Well,
does.
it buys you. That's well over $1 million a year. It buys you the rivers. It buys you the homes. It buys the husband and the kids the therapy they need because their moms.
Yeah, imagine if the husband was the one who came up with that idea. It's gotten way too big for him.
It pretty
at
much
this point.
was them together, apparently.
Right, but it was at first, and then
yeah.
now he's like, "You sure you want to film another one? We sure we need to do another
I don't know.
like 5 scenes today? You sure?
They look like
Stop.
they look like they're churning them out.
Stop making me call you.
Is it
Mrs.
porns?
Poindexter.
Is it full deals?
No, it's not porns. It's just her and like I think that she does get naked. I think. Don't quote
Oh,
me
if
on
it's
that,
just lingerie,
but
then
it's
I mean,
OnlyFans. It's $15 a
fine.
month. Whatever.
No, it's not much therapy for that. If it's just like
To the
over
kids,
the
it is.
clothes stuff.
Yeah,
To the kids
no
it is.
therapy, sure.
They're fine, guys. Got some animal news for you, and it's none of it has to do with pussy. Gaga's dogs were found unharmed and brought into a police station in Los Angeles by a good Samaritan who found them. And again, Gaga posted. So when I first brought up the reward, it wasn't really confirmed that it came from her mouth. It was like her people. I was
No
kind of
questions
running.
asked.
I was running with the joke a little bit about her not giving a shit about the dog walker, but it turns out to be absolutely true because this is from Gaga's mouth straight up. This is on her IG. My beloved dogs, Koji and Gustav, were taken in Hollywood 2 nights ago. My heart is sick, and I'm praying my family will be whole again with an act of kindness. I will pay $500,000 for their safe return. Email Koji and Gustav at gmail.com to contact us. Or if you brought them or found them unknowingly, the reward is the same. I continue to love Ryan Fisher. You risked your life to fight for our family. You're a hero forever. Again, nothing about finding the people that shot her fucking dog walker. You psycho.
Well,
Ryan.
One thing leads to another with that.
No, because
no, we don't. Because you know who's
Yeah.
cashing in the $500,000? Some random
Random
lady
lady.
found them chained to a fucking random parking sign.
Serious?
that's the
Yeah.
story, and
It's
there was no
over.
questions asked.
In
So
Gaga's
you-
mind, it's over.
She cut it. She definitely is cutting some of that money back to the dudes that shot the guy.
Man.
For
Sorry,
sure.
Ryan.
She's not going to ask about it.
You know what it was? It's the verbal tip. She gave Ryan the verbal tip. All right, guys. In a more heartwarming story, animal story, an Indian man is dead by the claw of his prize cockfighting cock,
no.
who impaled him in the cock with the rooster knife attached to the bird's claw as the bird tried to escape. So
Really get him in the dick.
got him right there in the deekskis.
Razor blade.
This is
With
like
a
that
knife.
cop. This is like that cop in the Philippines. Remember that broke up the cockfight? And,
Very similar.
They got his cardial
Yeah, he
artery
got
or whatever.
killed. Yeah.
Yep, he got caught in the neck. This guy was a cockfighter, and he got it in the dick. Police are now searching for 15 more men involved in the event, which took place in the village of someplace in India. I can't pronounce. Earlier this week, police said the animal was being ready to take part in the fight, and it tried to escape. And its piece of shit owner tried to catch it, but it was struck by a 3-inch knife on the bird's leg directly in his penis during the struggle.
What this bird's a free agent now, so it killed its owner, and everyone wants it because it's so good it can kill a human. So
Gotta be number one, right?
It's got to be worth a lot of money.
Right.
Number
The-
one in
Do
that
yourself a
league
favor,
now,
yeah.
for sure.
Morono.
Yeah.
And guys, the animal was held at the police station for questioning before being transferred to a farm. So now we just got to find that farm. And
I'd like
That
to buy this
farmer's
bird.
so rich.
Yeah,
That farmer's going to make some money on this.
let's get those 10K checks and buy this bird.
turn it into 20K.
Yeah,
It's like an episode of Always Sunny.
That's a can't miss scheme right there.
right.
You'll be a
Well, goes
millionaire in a weekend.
That's that, guys.
All right, guys. A South African woman shopping at a Pick and Pay supermarket nearly was kicked out for not wearing a mask. Luckily for her, she was able to avoid getting thrown out at the last second while waiting in the checkout line by removing her thong from her butt and vagina and placing it on her face. Bubba, roll the
What?
clip.
Oh, there's
They
a
let
clip.
that roll.
Thank
Yeah,
God.
yeah, there's a clip of this.
What's going on? Good move. Quite frankly, I think the bacteria on your neck is less than on the mops. Yeah. The bacteria on the mask is less than her knickers. So, hey, well done to you.
So there you go. She
That's
even
amazing.
has some support. She got a standing O from some lady in the store who says, the bacteria in her face mask is worse than in your butt and vagina. Did you know the dog's mouth is cleaner than a human's? Like, what the fuck is that lady doing, egging her on?
I mean, I think she was trying to mock her, but
I think
it
she was a little bit.
unsuccessful attempt at mocking her. She was mocking herself
I don't
by
think
putting
she
her
was
underwear
mocking.
on her face.
Yeah, that was so.
You
She
need
just,
to mock her additionally, probably. It's
she
just-
went on to say, "You happy now?" The lady that put the mask on her face. She was like, "You happy?"
Were they?
Put the mask on. I don't think that anyone was happy besides maybe the lady that was kind of mocking her. That's
But they
pretty
let
much the whole story.
They let her check
what-
out now.
What do you guys think?
I mean, did they let her check out?
Well, so,
Yeah, she stayed in the store. She checked out. I mean, yeah, pretty
was the
convinced
right
she was
move.
wearing a skirt, huh?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys because I was after my a long day of work last night. I stopped at the Buc-ee's in the middle of Bastrop, Texas, and I was coming out with my shit. Everyone's wearing masks, and these two like fucking people were coming into the store, and they just had no masks on.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
The sign was like I mean, but it wasn't like a shitty like fucking like gas station. It was like a giant Buc-ee's. And I
middle
was
of Bastrop.
it just pissed me off. It
I
just
see
pissed
that.
me off so bad because I was just like tired, and I was
You
like,
never
these
see that happen?
I've never seen it like that, like just ridiculous, like blatant, like past the signs, like in this like Buc-ee's.
Some people just don't care, Wes.
I know,
You know,
yeah.
I don't.
That's
I think
amazing. You've never seen that. That says something
I've
about
seen it in
Austin.
I've seen it in the shitty like gas station where there's like two
Yeah.
people, but not like a giant like
There's so many people
store.
in Buc-ee's, they probably thought they could get away with it. I don't know. I think this lady was doing a cheeky ad for Sniffer. You know, some guy in the store got very turned on. Probably followed her out to the parking lot.
Gave
and
her,
He's like,
dropped a card on him.
how much for the face mask?
It's a great way to launch a sniffer.
Isn't it?
Sniffer account.
It's a easy way to do it viral. Everyone needs to calm down with the masks, like Wes was saying. You know what helps me calm down? Caliper CBD. What's great about CBD is that it helps you feel better without making drastic changes to your routine. For me, I just take it at night, drop that in water on my nightstand, and poof, it helps me get a nice, relaxing sleep. Droppers full of funny tasting tinctures are not the best modern science has to offer. Meet Caliper, a better way to consume CBD. It comes in a 20 milligram packet and is odorless and tasteless. That's incredible. Precisely 20 milligrams in each packet of Caliper CBD. Never question how much CBD you're taking again. It's clinically proven that you absorb 450% more CBD with Caliper CBD compared to tinctures. That's a lot of percent. And Caliper gives you all the benefits of CBD in just 15 minutes, about twice as fast as CBD oil. Caliper CBD comes in affordable 30 and 60 count packs. There goes Will popping one now. Unlike some products out there, Caliper is completely THC free. All the goodness of CBD with no high. Get 20% off your first order when you use promo code FACTOR at trycaliper.com/factor. You can try Caliper CBD risk free for 30 days. If you don't love it, they'll give you a full refund. That's trycaliper.com/factor. Don't forget promo code FACTOR for 20% off your first order.
Yep.
Right, fellas. We're taking it down under for this last one, eh? And we're going to talk about Mulletfest, eh? In Curry, Australia. Just some of the highlights here. I know we don't have much time left, fellas, but let me tell you, there was some excellent mullets on display at Mulletfest 2021. Bubba, if you could show the fellas so they could take agenda. Yep.
Whoa.
There's the mullets there. I think Beeve actually made it down there for a trip. Is that you?
That looks
Bro,
like
these guys mullet way harder than I do. I
don't know,
couldn't
man.
even place in,
I don't
in
know.
this competition.
Turn to the side. Let me see what you got. Bubba, can you take the photo off real quick? Sorry. It's pretty good, man.
I think the Beeve would fancy a run, fancy a go, right? Well, the categories in the Mullet Fest are, age ranges. Then they have different genres like raga, which I'm not sure what that is. Hopefully, it's not something about race there. A vintage category, grubby category, extreme category, international, and then everyday. Just mullets on display. Hey,
Who won?
the website was not updated at the time of recording.
everyone that went is the answer.
Mullet
Yeah.
Fest just happened, boys.
Nice.
Wow, we got to go next year.
Yeah, good mullets in there. And that's going to do it for Hard Factor this Monday. As always, thank you for listening. And speaking of listening to our content, be sure to check out patreon.com/hardfactor for bonus podcasts and Discord, which includes a monthly Hard Hive happy hour. That was very fun last Friday. Check out hardfactor.com for the new St. Patty's Day merch, youtube.com/hardfactornews for full episodes and the new highlights page. Follow Hard Factor News on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn to see all the new video and viral content we're putting out. Of course, look for the hosts at Hard Factor Mark, at Hard Factor Pat, at Hard Factor Will, and at Hard Factor West to link up with us on Twitter and Instagram. And stick around for the sample of the stereo show from last Friday. But most importantly, have a great